What up, what up, what up? It's your boy D back at you with another video. Woo! So, today we are reacting to another Easy E Eric Bischoff quote, and this one is the Bucks badly need to hit the gym. So I'm interested to see what he says about this. It's probably gonna be funny as hell. I believe this is on their live stream that I didn't see. Following Forbidden Door. Forbidden Door was so fucking long. I watched it, fell straight asleep. Okay, so. But I will say on Forbidden Door, the main event was absolutely fire. So I am excited to see what Easy E got for us on this one. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Kang is with us and says, Eric, AEW is so high spot centric that the only way to describe them is that they are the Harlem Globetrotters of wrestling.
Wow.
Is that a fair comparison?
Wow. It's perfect. And I was responding to a tweet somebody made tonight too. And same point, you know, you get a great reaction. This is awesome. You get the crowd gets way up from the crazy high spots and they go to sleep until the next one. It's horrible for.
That's very interesting. The Harlem Globetrotters of wrestling. That's actually a really great comparison. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's okay. That's a great comparison. Or like what I kind of describe it as is WWE is the NBA, AEW is the Rucker. The Rucker. No, actually, no. I take that back. It can't be the Rucker. No, if WWE is the NBA, AEW is like the WNBA. Now, currently, if you know the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Asia Wilson, they are now starting to sell out arenas. They are now getting the publicity. They're now finally getting the publicity because they have stars, and that's kind of like AEW. WNBA has not been around for that damn long, and that's kind of similar to AEW, but the WWE is the mecca. The WWE is the NBA. They are where the stars live and breed and become bigger stars. It's just the way it is.
I mean, I was watching the crowd as much as I was watching the action tonight, and that crowd was DOA. They were DOA until there was some crazy high spot. By the way, did that elite match suck or what? Can we talk about how bad that was?
You're talking about Scissor Ace versus the Elite. So it's the Acclaimed and Tanahashi taking on the Young Bucks and Okada. On paper, that seems like a crazy match. You didn't dig it.
It was the shits. If we would have shot that on WCW Saturday Night back in 1992, and it was a tape show, we would have either reshot it or not air it. That was fucking horrible.
Damn.
These guys are supposed to be the best. These are representative of the company where the best wrestle. That match sucked. They did not.
Yo, Eric Bischoff be having me dying, bro. That shit sucked. I mean, the match wasn't. I don't think it was bad, but like the match is okay. But like, I think the Young Bucks are incredible wrestlers. The Young Bucks are ridiculously talented wrestlers. As characters, I just don't think they're good characters. Like, I don't relate to the Young Bucks at all. But as wrestlers, they're really good, and I think this is one of those random matches they just put on there because it is Forbidden Door. And there's really not, because there's not a lot of storylines that go in the Forbidden Door like that. I think they just threw this one on there if I'm going to be honest.
Give a shit. They didn't even phone it in.
Damn.
They yelled it from across the parking lot. That was so bad. Am I the only one? I want to hear what everybody else thinks. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's something going on there I just didn't see, but that match was, that was horrible.
I had high hopes for this whole Elite taking over AEW storyline. It doesn't feel like they're putting as much steam behind it. I say that, and yet Jack Perry.
I'm not going to hold you. Conrad is dead on right. I thought that storyline was going to be a lot bigger. a lot bigger because when they beat the shit out of Tony Khan and tombstoned him, I thought this was gonna be like a huge story. Kind of fell flat. It's kind of falling flat. If you remember, it's kind of like when Who is the Devil story they had with MJF and Adam Cole, and then it just kind of just slowly fell down, and they just paid it off, kind of shitty with MJF giving Adam Cole a brainbuster and just going about your day. So the story ended kind of very shitty, and that's kind of what's going on with the Elite right now. It's just all right, I guess we're here. Like, I was going to talk about how MJF's my favorite AEW wrestler. It's not even close. And it's MJF and Britt Baker. I love them both. Like, those are two dead talents. I'm like, no, they need to be in WWE. It's not even close. But with MJF, they just returned him back heel. And that more felt like a cry for help. Like, and heel MJF will get you the views. Face MJF with the Triple H jacket, not so much. So I am very happy that they returned MJF as a heel. It just definitely makes more sense.
The TNT title tonight, but I don't want to see Okada involved in this anymore. Okada once upon a time was perceived to be and presented to be one of the most special wrestlers in the world. I mean, the whole presentation was out of this world, and now he's kind of a background guy in all this, and I'm ready for them to transition him out of there. You know, when TNA, I mean, Jeff Jarrett took so much shit for the way Okada was presented when he was sort of comic relief as a number 2. He's comic relief as a number 4 now. Like, and that's before he was Okada. Now we know what he is. I'm ready to see them do some more with him. I mean, I get that it was fun and it's funny, but
no, it's not even funny. It's
years. I want the old Okada back.
I feel you. You put the Elite, give them an actual office job, teach them how to, work a computer or get coffee or do some shit in the office that actually is an office job, because they suck on TV right now. I don't know what the attraction is with these guys, but I didn't see it tonight. They look like they haven't been in a gym in 6 months.
God
the work
damn.
was sloppy. It was just it was slightly better than average work.
I saw the poster come out for the Arthur Ashe thing, and that's going to go down in September. They'll be back in New York. That's a big deal for them. It's a cool venue. I'm excited for them. But when I saw the lineup and the stars that are listed, I was sort of taken aback that when you go back and you look at the early days of AEW, which was only 5 years ago, and you look at those graphics when they rolled out and you take a look at them now, the only connective tissue in the OG and now is the Young Bucks. And I would like to see some old Young Bucks. I'd like to see some old Okada. I'm ready for, and I know they got Blood and Guts in Nashville coming up, so maybe we'll put a bow on some of these stories. But as a reminder, we're back to our regularly scheduled programming. It's just the AEW show. We're no longer going to be promoting all these other events for all these other companies and sending talent all over the world. We're back to business, and they're headed towards what is essentially the AEW WrestleMania in about 2 months in Wembley. And that makes us want to ask you, what did you think of the pay-per-view? Did it meet your expectations? We ran a poll here for everybody watching live at 83weeks.com. 30% said yes, it met their expectations. 24% said kinda. And 46%, winning the vote, said no, it did not meet their expectations, but it exceeded yours. This feels like a Saturday Night Live skit. Is the key to life lowered expectations, Eric?
When it comes to AEW, it is.
Oh, come on now.
I'm absolutely serious. And I know. It's not what I say, it's how I say it sometimes. My wife tells me that all the time. But I've finally gotten to the point. I'm not 100%. I'm close to the.
I'm going to let them cook. But I do want to say it. I think the AEW post show from last night, I think I liked that more than I did Forbidden Door. Just because Forbidden Door is just such a random pay per view to me, just because it's a crossover, the stories don't connect. So then you're just giving more of the Japanese stars exposure, which is really cool, and I do think it's great for wrestling. But to me, it's just meh. Okay, it's just Forbidden Door. That's how I really feel about it. But it was solid. I think it was solid. I really did like Osprey and Swerve. I thought it was really good. That was a really good match. It had its ups, had its lows. It's too fucking long. Watching AEW pay per views is like watching WrestleMania 33 when it's like 8 hours. So it's like, bruh, this is too fucking much. But that's just my opinion on it. But we're gonna go back to letting Easy cook.
Right now, where I cannot get emotional about stuff. Because I've gotten to that point because I realize it doesn't matter. It's never going to change. There's nothing that's going to make Tony Khan likely change the way he's approaching his business. He has no reason to. He has no financial pressure. He's got a $104 million talent budget, reportedly. I don't know if that's a fact. That's just what's been reported. Could be true, could be bullshit.
That's wild, baby.
But even if it's in the ballpark,
goddamn,
on a company that doesn't tour, that can't put asses in seats. I'm sorry, 3,000-4,000 people to a live nationally broadcast wrestling show is not a success story. I don't care who the fuck you are.
It's
sorry, I said it again. I try. I really try.
Get the dump button on him, Silva. You got a dump button over there. Let's start hitting it on Eric. If he can't clean himself up, we'll clean him up.
It's late. I promise it'll be better when it's early in the morning.
Well, keep it going. We'll be here forever. Frank Morano wants to know, I'm still in awe of Ospreay and his workman, the match. Honestly, I'm a casual fan overall. This guy is a superstar. Eric Popcorn Colonel Kearney says, is there any way that this show could have been better? I think you agree on the Ospreay being a superstar part, but if you could change one thing about the show tonight, Eric, what would it be?
I wouldn't mix up the matches. The matches all seem the same to me. The action in the matches, I mean, if I never see, for so long we've been seeing chops. Everybody's chopping. Woo, Ric Flair chop. Woo, because the crowd chimes in. Pavlov's dogs. Woo. It doesn't matter who you are. As long as you're chopping, they're going to give you the Ric Flair woo. Now the new woo is these, forearms to the face. Just stand there and trade forearms. It's the most boring stuff in the world. Takes zero talent. You don't look that tough because it's so obvious. You couldn't crack an egg with those elbows. I'm sorry. Not a kind of guy that loves to break kayfabe, but when it's visually obvious to the people sitting at home, like a 10-year-old can go, why are they doing that, Dad? Maybe move on and find something else to try to make yourself look like, strong style. Because that shit's old. It's been done to death. Nobody cares. Move on.
All right, so that's what Eric Bischoff had to say about Forbidden Door. I mean, he got some points that I do agree with. Like that last part, yes. The forearms don't bother me as much as the super kicks. The super kick leg slaps do be OD because everybody has a fucking super kick in their arsenal now. I'm like, I know Shawn Michaels is probably like, the fuck? Like, everybody just took my goddamn move. This is insane. And now, to where it's like, if Shawn Michaels was a wrestler, how the fuck is he beating people with a sweet chin music when everybody does the super kick and always kicks out at 2? So, I can understand that logic. It definitely makes sense to me, because at least when Kevin Owens does the stunner, at least he wins with the stunner versus the pop-up powerbomb. And it makes sense, Or Becky Lynch with the manhandle slam. She wins with the manhandle slam. So, like, those type of moves that are being redone, at least they're winning with them, and they're giving respect to the legends. But a super kick, they all just said, fuck Shawn Michaels, and just leg slap city, But they're definitely, AEW definitely has, there's definitely a lot of good things in AEW versus a lot of bad. There is definitely a lot of bad in AEW where I'm like, yo, this is fucking trash. But then there's also times where I'm like, yo, nah, this is fire. I hope they continue. So for me, AEW more just needs more story than it does wrestling. But AEW is where the best wrestle. So, and like they said, Tony's making so much money from AEW to where that, and he already had enough motherfucking money that it'll probably never change, and that's alright. But that's how I feel about it. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Is Eric Bischoff bugging about what he said about the Young Bucks? Do you guys agree what he said about the Young Bucks? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. It has been your boy D. And until the next time, and until forever finds you.